Hello, Virgo. Welcome to October 2022. This is a month for relationship breakthroughs and momentum in parts of your life where you've been on the fence, indecisive, and stuck. So get ready for that. Before we begin, if you're new to my channel, I am Lori Lothian. I use the tools of Hellenistic and Babylonian astrology to decipher the sky code so that you know what's going to be happening in your life in the next month ahead. Your rising sign is going to be the most accurate. So if you don't know your rising sign, you're going to make your own chart. Free tutorial in the description box below. Sun and moon, you can use those as like icing on the cake. They're helpful. Maybe more like sun is purpose, moon is your emotions about how you feel about life as well. I'm getting close to 10,000 subscribers, and I'm recording on September 20th, where I'm almost there. I'm at 500 away. I'm putting on a contest right now through the end of October. Anybody who signs up for my Cosmic Moonshine newsletter between now and then, check the description box below, or makes comments on my videos and likes and subscribes. All of that, I've got, all of that to put you into a hat so that on Halloween, on October 31st, I am drawing names from that hat, and there are going to be 10 winners for free readings, half price readings, free courses, giveaways galore, a ton of stuff for free or like super deep discounts. So if you want to jump into that, please do comment below, like, subscribe, and most importantly, join my Cosmic Moonshine newsletter, because when you do, you get a 30% discount code off any reading with me anyway, so you may as well jump aboard. Alrighty, let's get going. So you know what, Virgo, you've been going through a bit of a challenging time in September. That's because the Lord of your sign, Mercury, the guy who's your #1 planet, did a little jig-jag there and did some retrogradation that may have felt really awkward for you. So let's talk about what happens when Mercury is the Lord of your sign and he goes retrograde and why it matters. So when the Lord of your sign is in retrogradation, as Mercury is until October 2nd, you technically feel like you're going back over some old ground, and you can feel like, even though technically more synchronicity and magic and mystery can appear during retrogradation, there's a part of you that knows that it's weighing something. There's something you're having to work out, figure out, negotiate, or whatever, so that you can make decisions, Mercury, decisions and choices and things like that you need, negotiations that you need to do. So let's talk about some of the dates that are ongoing, because Mercury will go direct, and this is a great relief, October 2nd for you guys. But before he went direct, right before he got there, he was in the sign of Virgo doing a jig back in the summer. So we have to go back and talk about that for you guys first. So back in August, from August 4th to the 26th, Mercury went through the sign of you, which is your body, your health, your decisions, the way you interact with the world. And he was moving through that time frame in direct motion. And then he decided that he wasn't quite finished with what he needed to work on. He made it all the way through to Libra, and then he decided it was time to retrograde again. And this is a story that impacts you because on September the 24th, he slid back into your house of you, and until October 2nd, he's retrograding in the house of you. He will station into direct motion and be in the house of you until October the 11th. So this window of time, September 24th to October 11th, is critical. And you're going to find that it really, for a lot of you Virgos, it's about making decisions specifically in your life, potentially around things that you have been wobbling on, to do with your relationships to significant others, your marriage partner, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, the one you're with, your committed love relationships. Sometimes it can also be you're wobbling around decisions to do with what your purpose in life is, what your career path should be. But for a lot of you, it's going to be what Mercury's looking directly across the way at. And so this confusion or uncertainty is clearing. And this is why there's some breakthrough energies in the area of your sky that represent significant relationships. So this is good because we need breakthroughs every now and then, especially when we're stuck. So look forward to that. Lastly, this is good for your health. If you've been having any health challenges, Mercury retrograding, he went back like, September 20, what was it, 24th or so. And then he went back until October 2nd, turns around, comes out on the 10th of October. That window of time could be a way of going back to clear up any challenges to your health with new information, new guidance, new discovery, new research, new knowledge that you need to clear up those health challenges as well. But a lot of this will have a lot to do with significant relationships. And I'll tell you the reason. Number 2, Jupiter. Jupiter in your 7th house will either make or break a relationship. People always think Jupiter is Santa Claus. It's all good, nothing but fairies and rainbows and unicorns of goodness, but not true. Jupiter is like, okay, blessed endings, better to cut off that gangrene limb. If there's a relationship that's not good for you, he can do that. Now let's talk about big picture Jupiter, because this month he's going into the house of relationships, which is either going to up level and break through to a new level of commitment, or it's going to decompress that relationship. So Jupiter first went through your house of significant others way back in May, June, July of 2021. Then he came back in December of 21 and was there until May 10th of 22. Okay, so we're getting 3-part stories, and now he's back again. Here comes Jupiter, October 28th to December 20th. That last salvo, that 3rd part, is important. Now, it's really more important for those people born with their sun, moon, or their rising sign in Virgo in the last 10 degrees, especially the last 5 degrees. So let's say 24 to 29 degrees of Virgo. This is really important for you regarding significant other relationships. It can also be, if you're single, bringing in somebody new, right? Any of these 3 passes. So really the early Virgos could have gotten a new love in the spring of 2021, spring, summer. And then, the first 5 months of 22 could have been the midpoint of Virgos, and now the end of Virgo signs, sun and moon and rising, get the love. So if you're single, this could be a bounteous, expansive, joyful new marriage partner coming your way / relationship. But if you're with somebody, because he's retrograding, he's going back over some old ground, right, into your 7th house. That is going to be a period from October 28th until he turns direct on November 24th, where you have to go back over some old content with somebody you're with. Now, every now and then, the 7th house is a business relationship or legal contracts that you must go back over, especially like, sign on the dotted line, oaths, vows, agreements, legal agreements. So some of you might be dealing with some legal return of legalese during that window. And just know that after the 24th of November through to December 20th, that's where everything's all systems go. That's where, yes, you're going to move in together. You're going to get engaged. You're going to resolve challenges in the relationship, or you're not. And Jupiter will cut away the business partner, the legal agreements that aren't right for you, the partner that's not right for you. So get ready for that. It's a big deal, because Jupiter won't be back in your 7th house for another 12 years. So yeah, it's a slightly big deal. Okay. All right. Moving forward, it's a good thing about October is 3 planets are moving direct. We talked about Mercury moving into direct motion October 2nd, and that's wonderful. The second planet direct is in the order of occurrence is going to be Pluto, and that's going to be Pluto, who's been retrograde since the end of April in Capricorn, moving forward on October the 8th. And the part of your sky that's implicated in the Capricorn narrative is romance. So again, we keep seeing it's romance, it's children, it's pregnancy, it's creativity, and it's also the house of your muse. Do you feel inspired? If you have your own business like I do, that's the 5th house. Pluto retrograde since the end of April is just going back over some old ground in romance, love, sexuality, etc. For instance, you may be trying to dig into underneath the surface of your romantic stuff to figure out how there may be things underneath the surface you need to deal up, with your sexuality, romance, and love, children, pregnancy. And now he's going to move direct. So as he goes direct, which, it is October 8th, but you'll feel more momentum throughout November, into November, even as he gets a little faster. But after October 8th, things begin to move forward in romance and love and children and pregnancy and independent business enterprise and money luck even. So Pluto can bring you some significant money wealth here as well. So look forward to that momentum. And some of you Virgos, I keep saying this, but Jupiter is transiting as well through your inheritance house. Of course, not from October 28th to December 20th. But before that, he is in your house of inheritances, and Pluto will move direct, and Pluto will square that part of your sky. So there's a possibility, I don't want to scare anyone, but October the 8th through to the 28th, there may be money from family legacy wealth coming your way. Okay. Now, the other thing I want to say is that Saturn will move direct at the end of the near to the end of the month, on the 22nd of the month. And when Saturn goes direct in Aquarius for you guys as a Virgo rising, this is going to activate some improvements or some significant consolidated gains in the areas of your life that revolve around your health, the way you can fix your health, like, like the way you can do things to actively improve it and find solutions, as well as gains in the area of debt. If you owe money, this could be a beginning of a way to pay it off. And finally, also, this is your work life, like colleagues, co-worker space, right? The routines of your workspace, the way you do the work you do, your job energy. And so Saturn is also consolidating gains. And I say consolidating because he's been retrograding since June in your 6th house. I think it was June the 22nd, but June. And now he's going to say, okay, we've been going back, consolidating things to do with work and health, looking for new directions of solutions regarding those things, or debt and debt relief. Momentum is now coming to you. Thank you, Saturn, on the 22nd of October and to the end of the month. Obviously, you begin to feel something goes forward in an area that you may have felt stuck. And because it's a 6-12 axis, if you had addictions or self-undoing patterns and habits, like my daughter's a Virgo rising trying to quit the Nick vape, this is clear momentum towards getting rid of that problem, starting around the 22nd of October, crossing that threshold. And then also I'm going to go back to the moons. Okay, so there's a full Aries moon at 16 degrees on October the 9th. And this is a moon in your money house to do with your inheritances. Yeah, I keep coming up, but also money you can get from tax rebates, money you can get from bank loans and mortgages, money you can get from your shared spousal resources, including alimony and spousal support and things like that. Now, a full moon is a big light of revealing or a fullness, or sometimes endings and completions or harvesting. And some of that energy that you harvest was seeded back in April of 2022, when there was a new moon in that part of the sky, the beginning of April, and it lasted for 2 weeks. So go back, was it April? Yeah, it was April. Go back to what was happening back then, because you are returning to it now. Like it's on a springboard, a rebound, that whatever was happening then is now germane to now. I'm going to go back and get the exact date of that moon. Give me a second. I think it was the 2nd, April the 1st. That's that whole, what is it? April Fool's Day. So go back to April 1st, add 2 weeks. What were you doing? What were you seeding in your finances, your credit cards, your debt, your investments, your spousal money, legacy, inheritance monies, bank loans and mortgage, because now there's a full light here. Now, technically secrets belong in the 8th house, especially infidelity secrets from the secrets from the 7th. And so if there's been any kind of sneaky behavior with you or your partner, then the full moon can reveal what was hidden from view to either of you. So watch for that possibility as well in the full moon light of October 9th at 2 weeks. Certainly also a magical house, like, talking to the dead, getting in touch with the deep mysteries of life, studying astrology or learning something about tarot cards. Some of that could be active for you guys, just as a possibility, because you do have some activation in the learning axis with the eclipses. So you may pick up a course in any of those areas. Jupiter can mean teacher or learning in the 8th house. So maybe the full moon sheds light on some occult thing, like you want to learn about magic, tarot, whatever. Astrology could even be the 8th house. All right. Now, Mars will square Neptune on October 10th, 11th, 12th kind of vibe, back on around November 20th, back again next March of 2023. Why am I bringing it up now? Because this is the first pass of a challenging aspect that's going to happen on the dates I gave you. Mars is often cutting, severing, and swashbuckling energy, and he's doing it in the air sign of ideas and communications, which is Gemini, in your 10th house of career and reputation, and he is squaring Neptune in your 7th house of primary love relationship, as well as business partnerships and legal agreements. So now look, a lot is going on for you Virgos in that area of your primary relationships, especially love. Mars can dispel an illusion. It can cut through the dross or the fog of what you couldn't see about somebody that you're with, whether it's your business partner, your love partner, or client you need to cut or axe away. Mars kind of might be trying to do something like dispel the delusional energy here, the fantasy, and bring it down to some clarity. On the other hand, this can be a work story that's happening around the 10th, 11th, and the 12th, where you are making some kind of decisions around career and work, and there's conflict from your partner who has some ideal idea of what you should be doing, and you're saying, no, this is what I'm going to be doing. You know, there's that vibe there as well. And then you'll know it's a three-part energy. So it picks up again around November 20th and then March 12th of next year. So pay attention for that as well. Venus will also make some gnarly tensions by squaring Pluto on October the 19th at 26 degrees of Libra. That is a tension between the goddess of love and money and Pluto, the god of wealth, power, and secrets. Well, it's always bad, you know, when these two tango, but this is pretty intense. So just going to pretend it's not. No, because Venus is, you know, Venus and Pluto, obsessive love, fatal attraction. Watch out for that stuff if you're a Virgo rising playing out in your sky. But it's Pluto in the house of sexuality, you see, romance. Yeah, that stuff, as well as, you know, everything else I mentioned, you know, children and business enterprise and stuff. But it certainly is a sexuality and romance house. And then Venus, the goddess of love and romance, is in that gnarly square from the second house of speech, voice, earnings. You know, the second house Venus could be squaring Pluto, very much also a money story as well. The kind of money it can bring in is a very solid increase in your earnings, or a very solid increase in some kind of financial jackpot. But because it's coming from a square, it may feel difficult. In Vedic astrology, your family of origin energy can be connected like to your second house. So we're back to that question mark. Are some of you Virgos looking at legacy wealth coming your way? Just possibly. I'm not saying for sure. You know what I mean? But that's a possibility. Jupiter is the Lord of the fourth, which represents the mother, but also the family of origin in traditional astrology. And he's in the house of inheritances. Then Venus, Pluto square. Some of you, it looks like money coming to you in this month, but it may not be from the most easy, you know, and agreeable direction, but it may show up. But then again, watch out for this could be secrets spilled, love triangles revealed, kind of this tension energy is intense around October the 19th. Venus will go into the heart of the sun. That's the same day on the 22nd of October that Saturn will station direct. And this is an energy of Venus in Libra. She hasn't done this for 200 years. She's going to go into the heart of the sun, 29 degrees of Libra, and bless your second house of money, earnings, voice, vocation, calling, values, and possessions. This is a new beginning for you for the rest of your life. Really, there's a bit of a glitch in, you know, in 2026 where she star points in Scorpio again, but most of your life she'll be star pointing throughout the degrees of Libra. So your money is going to increase, right? And, you know, you may not see it right away. It's not like, oh, on October 22nd, jackpot. You know, it could be, but it, you know, she's not a visible planet until like the 5th, 6th or so of December, more so by mid-December around the world. So she's planting seeds in collusion with the sun, which is the soul of the universe, the divine intelligence, and they're plotting for your financial best interests. And so you might see some financial gains seeded October 22nd, revealed in December, or fully realized in December. And then throughout until next August, like kind of the 9.5, 10 months after the start point, you're really getting a lot of clarity about this financial up level for you. And at the same time that this is going on, you may also get some support from that Saturn moving direct on the 18th, making me wonder if you could relieve yourself, Virgo, of some significant debts, both karmic and literal, as a result of the star point that's happening on the month, on the 22nd of October. It will unfold until 2026 as a kind of all-purpose, more possessions, more prosperity in your life over that time. So it's an exciting new development for you. And then I want to talk about the eclipse on the 2nd degree of Scorpio that occurs on the 25th of October, new moon eclipse in the Scorpio part of your sky. This is your third house of trips, travel, siblings, skills-based education and learning, communication, sometimes your website and platforms. Did I say writing? So Virgo, this is a part of your sky that's giving you a new beginning, all right, seeding a new beginning. And this eclipse is conjunct Venus, the goddess of love and money as well. So a benefic planet, well in debility, and Scorpio is still present with this eclipse, opening up some kind of blessings in the third house. So really, literally, this can be seeding an opportunity to travel somewhere, an opportunity to go on a trip. But that trip has greater karmic momentum. Also, maybe opening up a doorway of some learning. You want to take a course that's very skills based, not highfalutin higher education, but more like I want to learn how to blank. And, you had a full moon in this part of your sky, a full moon eclipse energy around the middle of May. And that was like completion energy as well. What things we're completing in your local neighborhood regarding siblings, trips and travel, about communications, that kind of energy, because now there's something seeded that's brand new and fresh. And the Lord of the eclipse itself, because it's Scorpio, right, is Mars. Mars is busy working in your house of visible career, success, and ambition, your 10th house. So I think some of you, the seeds that are planted in the third, that are continually, as this eclipse cycle progresses through Scorpio till the next July, the nodes are there until next July. A lot of you are looking at what you want to learn in order to be who you're here to be in terms of career. And there may be some new learning, new studies, some new opportunities, for example, that are revealed to you from the eclipse itself on October 25th. Add 6 months. That's when it all unfolds. At the end of the month, Jupiter will go into Pisces. Oh, I covered that for you. At the end of the month, Mars will go into retrograde motion in your ambition, career, visible success part of your sky, your reputation. As Mars goes retrograde there, October 3rd to January 12th, you may go back to an old job, an old career path, an old purpose path that you've done before, or you may pull away and recede from a particular career ambition path or direction you've been on before. This is the house of the father. Mars retrograding could be some directional shifts regarding your relationship with your father. In Vedic astrology, North Node eclipses are through the 9th house, which is also connected to Jupiter Guru, therefore patriarch father energy. You may be also experiencing some kind of regressing and going back to and readdressing some things to do with you and your father, if your father's alive, for you Virgos. Now, Mars going backwards in the 10th house of career so that he can go forward on January 12th, right? He can help you kind of negotiate strongly, because it's Gemini, it's air, for terms and conditions in your career that you really want. And as he goes retrograde, you're going back to do some real conversation that's forceful and strong, or your boss is allowing for that or bringing it to the table so that you can really negotiate what you want in your job career path during that retrograde of the dates I gave you, right? Starting October 30th to January 12th. All right. Ciao for Mitt now. Thanks for listening as, all of that. Virgo, do you want a skills-based learn how to? Sky read. Time your best life, be your own astrologer. Come and jump aboard my Sky Reader course because it starts on October 15th. It is an 8-week live class. We take a week off for the Thanksgiving week for USA. So it kind of ends around the 10th of December. There are lots of spaces still left because it's not really open to the public yet. It's on the early bird wait list where you get this great 30% discount code for jumping aboard early. And I'm going to open it to the public in the first week of October. So if you really want to learn astrology with an intimate group, Facebook group, my attention, I've got about 20 spots filled already, but I'm going to cap the enrollment around 50 at the max. So if you want to jump in, please come aboard and learn how to time your best life, because this beginner astrology class will give you, by the end of it, enough understanding to use some very easy to use timing tools for yourself. All right, ciao everybody. And yeah, it is for beginners. And I will see you soon. Don't forget, like, subscribe, and hit my bell for notifications.